Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Decarie Black, and this is the Decarie Black Podcast. So thanks for joining. And I want to talk about one of these great shows that I happen to come across on Netflix called Black Mirror. Now, if you're not familiar with Black Mirror, it's probably a show you probably went on Netflix and was skipping, and you saw the name Black Mirror and you were skipping because you didn't know what it was about. Basically, what Black Mirror is, it's like compared to the Twilight Zone. You know, it's a lot of different stories about different elements of things that kind of bring forth the sci-fi feel to it. And a lot of Black Mirror has a lot to do with technology. I have my favorite 7 episodes that I feel that you should probably watch if you've never watched it, or if people who have watched it, they might agree with these episodes that I picked out. This show is a brain twister. So if you don't like brain twisting shows, this show is not for you. I like brain twisting shows that basically put me in one place and then toss me a completely different direction. I have my 7 here, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is a good way to get people to watch the show, because I'm a firm believer that this show is great, and I hope they bring in more episodes because this is a very good show. But I have a list here that is totally, out of, order, but this is just the order that I picked them in. And I feel Shut Up and Dance should be number 7. Now, Shut Up and Dance is a episode about internet blackmail. So it's about this kid who ends up, whacking it on the internet, whatever. But he has his camera, pointed at him through his laptop, because he's on a laptop and everybody has the little camera on the laptop. He ends up doing his thing and he's being watched. After he's done with his business, he gets an email from an anonymous person saying, "I saw what you did." Sent him the video of what he was doing and said, "Hey, if you don't want anyone to see this, you have to do exactly as I say and do whatever I ask you to do it, or else I'm leaking this video to your friends and family." Now this kid is basically caught in this crossfire of trying to deal with his problem and happen to hide it. So he's gonna do whatever he can to not have this video leaked out to his friends and family and to the world. So he does what this person does. And you're watching this episode and watch all these drastic measures that he's taking just to cover up what he has done. Number 6 on my list is Men Against Fire. This is an episode that has to deal with deceit and technology use. It's basically about a man who gets recruited into this military of sorts, and they have this technology called MASS. So it's basically a technology that's in their eyes, and they can see, data that pops up and see certain targets, maybe trace targets, whatever it does. It's a system that the soldiers use, and they go out and they kill these things called the roaches. Now, they're pretty much like mutated people, but that's their objective, to see that this character is being deceived by the people he's working for. So it's a good thriller to watch. When you watch it, you're gonna be like, whoa. Have you rewind it a couple times and kind of make you feel a little bit sick. But I like that. If something like this doesn't make you feel a certain way when you watch it, come on now, you need to experience something like that. Number 5, there's an episode called White Bear. This is a very, very chilling episode to watch when you're dealing with being in the shoes of a character who doesn't know who they are, who doesn't know where they are, doesn't know how they got there, doesn't know how to escape, and you're being chased by hunters and people who are out there trying to kill you. I was with this character as I'm watching this episode, being chased, felt like you're about to die, and putting in many situations where you're in a goose chase situation where you are the goose. Number 4, I'm gonna choose the episode Black Museum. It has a lot of elements that they show within other episodes within Black Mirror. A girl, she goes into the middle of nowhere and she sees this museum in the middle of nowhere. So she goes in to pass the time while she's out charging up her car, or a futuristic car, whatever. You go into this museum and you see all of these items that are being displayed by this man. And all of these items have something to do with certain type of technology of misuse or whatever it is. He begins to pick certain objects and tell stories about these objects of what they are and how they became to be what they are. And a lot of these stories in this episode are really, really weird. This man tells all of these stories and everything starts to unfold at the very end. It takes you for a ride of what this man who has been a part of this technology, he pretty much understands when he used this technology at the time, it's basically biting him in the ass. Number 3, Metalhead. Okay, when I saw this episode, I had no idea what I was getting into. And there's a lot of episodes that are like this. You feel like they're looking for something simple, but then when they find what they're looking for, it is not at all what they expect it to be. It basically takes place in a post-apocalyptic time. These scavengers are trying to find a package. Once they go and find this package ends up being some type of military-made dog. It's not like, it doesn't look like a mechanical real dog. It is just this machine that they created that acts like a dog, but it has weapons upon it. But because it's post-apocalyptic time, whoever created these basically couldn't have control of these machines. It instantly goes after them and instantly tries to kill them. This machine that could basically do a lot more than what they expected it to do. It hacked into cars, it basically can do anything. It can do anything to try to hunt you down. Number 2, Hated in the Nation. I really, really love this episode for the fact that they target social media. The power of social media is in the hands of every single individual. When people start to hate you on social media for anything that you say or anything that you do, because they all disagree with it, because people feel that you need to be a certain way all the time if you are in a certain position. These are people who are just speaking their minds, and the people on the internet, they grill these people. You know, a lady gets bashed on the internet by everybody because of her opinion about some sacrificial woman who burns herself in a wheelchair for a protest. She ends up grilling this lady about how she did this in the wrong way and she did it in front of kids and what kind of thing you're trying to do and blah, blah, blah. And the internet basically hates the reporter, you know, for what it is, and they bash her. The next day she ends up dead. This person that the internet hated is killed all out of nowhere. And then it starts happening again to someone else. He ends up dead too. So now it's a whole whirlwind of who is targeting these people on the internet. Like, it's basically showing the power of the internet. How powerful and how impactful it is that whatever you say could harm somebody. You just never know. And my number 1 pick is USS Callister. Now, this episode was the first episode I watched. You know, it's basically dealing with the gaming world. This is about a guy who created a video game. He also kept a version of the game for himself. That way he had control of the games. He goes to work and he's a pushover. He just, okay, whatever, you know, whatever. I'm just gonna deal with it, mind my business, whatever. He's just quiet at work, very creepy, you know, tries to talk to people. They don't really respond well. They just think he's there because he's the boss. When he goes home, he goes and he plays this video game. He has DNA of the people he works with into this game, and he treats them like straight shit. He treats them how they would treat him at work. He treats them in this video game. And when he goes back to work, he's back to his normal life again, where he has to deal with the bullshit of these people he's working with. It becomes a mashup between reality and virtual reality, and they collide. And you start to see that this man who was very careless about his real life ends up catching up to his virtual life. You know, if there's any episode that I didn't list on here that you felt should have made the list, comment, let me know. I've seen all the episodes, and whatever episode you probably picked that are not on the list, I would probably agree with you, because a lot of those other episodes are really good too. I just felt this 7 that I picked were my top favorite ones. These are the ones I felt like when I watched them, I felt different after I watched them. I felt tricked. I felt all of these feelings when I watched these episodes, and they were great feelings to have when you deal with some people with that type of writing ability and creativity to present something of this nature. It's a great show. If you haven't watched this show, I want you to watch this show. This show is incredible. It messes your brain up in certain ways, but you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? You might have bad dreams about certain things, whatever. You know, it's all just sci-fi technologies, it's fiction. So I hope you enjoy this podcast and me talking my shit about, you know, Black Mirror and all that stuff. It's a great show. Give it a try. If you've seen the episodes, comment, tell me your favorite episode. What episode that I didn't list, or any episodes that you felt that you watched were dope. Let me know. I'm Decarie Black. Peace out.